Hello everybody, and welcome back to Katawa Shoujo, where we're continuing from where we left off. I think I read this already. But somehow I don't care about that. For the first time since arriving here, my heart feels light. Oh god, did I stop writing right before? Oh, never mind. It's a new act. Perspective. Act 3. How many acts are there? My head's in a spin all through Matao's class. I'm going to have dinner. With Emmy. Who wants to be my girlfriend, no less? A date. And then she kissed me. That kiss. I keep going back to it, playing it over in my mind again and again. Everything about that moment felt so right. My mind drifts off, lost in the thought of Emmy. Nakai, hello? It seems like I've drifted a bit too far. Huh? What? Egad! You've concentrated. You've contracted some kind of amnesia. Someone get the nurse! The class chuckles at Matao's antics. What the heck? He doesn't seem like the guy that would joke around. Sorry, sir. Won't happen again and all that, right? Exactly. Matao brightens considerably. Well, lovely to hear. I'd hate to have my star pupil slacking off after all. I've been doing well, but I hardly qualify as a star pupil, I think. I'm fairly certain that this class is the sort that everyone does well in. It's just memorizing formulas. True to my word, I managed to pay attention for the rest of the class. Nakai, may I have a word with you? I wonder if I'm in trouble from earlier. Sure. Am I in trouble? Matao looks genuinely confused for a moment. Beg your pardon? He tilts his head to one side and thinks for a moment. Oh, that? No. You're not in any sort of trouble. There's just a question I want to ask you. What's that? Nothing terrible. I was just wondering what your plans were after graduation. After graduation. Are you going to university? Yeah, I guess. I can't really see a reason not to go. Given any thought to what you'll study? No, not really. I figure I'll come up with something when I get there. Matao laughs. Taking things as they come, eh? I'd argue against it, but that's how I did things when I got into university. Well, not really. I knew I'd go into science, I'm just not sure which one. Ended up with physics, but could just as well gone to it for astronomy or what have you. Actually, I did go for chemistry first, but there was all sorts of things. Machado trails off and frowns slightly. It takes a minute for him to recover his train of thought, and I wait patiently for him to continue. So anyway, I did a lot of physics as well, because I had an interest in that, but I wasn't sure if it was for me. So I went back to chemistry, and here we are. Yes? He smiles at me enthusiastically, as he is waiting for me to confirm that yes. Here we are. Here is where we are. Somehow I get the feeling that Mattel had planned for this conversation, but I'll be damned if I can figure it out. I'm sorry, I'm not following you. Mattel frowns and rubs his chin a bit, looking perplexed. He then snaps his fingers and he remembered what the point of all this was. Right. Yes. You. Me? Yes, you should look into studying one of the sciences. You're fantastic at it. Unless you'd rather go into math. Mattel makes a sour face. Not a big fan of straight math. I always liked the experiments more than the proofs. You're saying I should study science at the university? Mattel seems thrown off balance by my question. Well, sort of. What kind of freaking teacher says that? You could also join the science club. Trouble is, there's not actually a science club. But there could be. You could even be a charter member. A founding father. Of course, you need to find other members. Well, only if you wanted to. We could just jumpstart it up with the two of us. And, I could give you things to read and we could talk about them. And I could help you get ready for university and such as well. Wait! Matao rummages around in his briefcase and tosses me a book. Read that. If it's interesting, then we could talk about it. A brief history of time? I don't know if I actually want to read this, but Matao seems pretty excited about it. What's it about? Time, space, space-time, black holes and such. And it's not that dense. Just to see if that sort of thing is interesting for you. You understand. Hang around after class and we could either discuss it or I could show you how to make explosives in labs. He waves a hand at me at my quizzically expression. Joking, sorry. Still, I've kept you here long enough for now. Think about science as a career path, Nakai. I think you'd enjoy it. Okay, I will. Thank you for the book. I leave the classroom and look up at the clock. Quite a chunk of time to kill until Emmy's out of practice. Guess I'll give this book a look. Yeah, that rhymed. I should probably shower as well. Showering before a date? Only proper, right? I head back to the dorms. I wonder where I'm supposed to meet Emmy anyway. She said after practice, but she didn't say where I should find her. I guess I could swing by the track. That's probably best anyway. If she needs a shower, I can just wait for her in her room or something. Or in the hallway, I guess. That would be better as well. I take a quick shower, remembering to take my medication once I hop out. Now for a look at this book. Yeah, it rhymed again. La da da doo 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 ba da doo 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 ba da doo doo doo. I wake up with a start. Shit, what time is it? A glance at the clock reveals that I've been sleeping for nearly an hour. Oh God, thank goodness. Ami's practice should be finishing up soon. I throw on some casual clothes and head for the track. Somehow I get the feeling we won't be doing anything fancy for dinner. Amy doesn't strike me as the fancy sort of person. Still, I suppose there's a lot I have yet to know about Amy. Despite our newfound closeness, I still feel I don't know her as well as I should. Oh well, I have lots of time to fix that. To be honest, I'm looking forward to getting to know her more. I'm so caught up in my own thought that I hardly register that I'm already at the track. Amy is nowhere to be found. I don't even see any signs of the track team. This could be embarrassing. I turn to head towards the girls' dormitory when I hear a shout. Hey, Hassao! I turn around to see Amy making a beeline for me with the gym bag slung over her shoulder. She's changed into her decidedly more casual clothes, a pair of shorts and an olive green top. Her running blades have been replaced by more realistic looking legs. That probably wouldn't fool anyone. Emmy seems to care about that, a fact which makes me smile. Hey, you came! I mean, I figured you would, but still. I suddenly find myself wrapped in a rather affectionate hug, and it proves to be impossible for me to keep what must be the world's largest grin off my face. Well, of course I came. I'd be crazy not to, right? Amy ponders for a moment. You know that's true. Well, that's true. I mean, I'm pretty amazing after all. Oh my god, this girl's such. She's like my girl. She acts like my girlfriend, pretty much. My girlfriend always tells me that she's awesome. Well, this is the only part that's like my girlfriend. I shrug in response. I certainly think so, and that's what I say too to my girlfriend. It's an offhand remark, which is why I'm surprised to see that it seems to have caught Emmy by surprise. She blushes and smiles warmly at me, before planting a kiss on my lips. My girlfriend's also a runner. Heh, what a coinky dink. Now it's my turn to be surprised. Emmy steps back, resting her weight on her back heel, looking pleased with herself. My brain fumbles for an appropriate response. Hmm? I should compliment you more often. Emmy laughs and gives me a playful shove. Jerk! I throw an arm around Emmy's shoulder and am pleased when she immediately leans into me as if we were the most natural thing in the world. So where to? I'm not actually sure. Where do people go on dates around here anyway? That's a damn good question. I've got no idea. Why don't we just head down to the Aro Mart and grab something portable? Emmy's face brightens at this idea. A picnic? I think you're onto something, Hasao. Emmy snakes her arm around my waist, and we begin to head to the front gate. I'm entirely unsure of what I meant to do in this situation, but at least Emmy seems to be equally clueless. Despite the relaxing feeling of being with Emmy, I still can't help feeling a little tense. What if I do something wrong? I hate to make an ass out of myself. The trip to the Aramart is accompanied by Emmy's chatter about how practice went. I keep quiet for the most part, merely enjoying the warmth of being around Emmy. We got a few odd looks from passerbys, but I don't mind. We wind up buying some bread and instant noodles, realizing too late that we cannot actually cook the latter in the in the park. Oh well, I'll make it for lunch or something. That'll work. The park is located after a brief loss of direction that I blame entirely on Emmy. She of course blames me. We find a spot beneath a tree and sit down. I lean back against the trunk. Emmy sits across from me. I guess we should have brought a blanket or something to sit on, huh? Emmy shrugs. I don't mind. Neither do I. Emmy tosses me a package of bread and we dig in. Curry bread. Interesting. I guess I wasn't really paying attention to what I grabbed in the store. Hey, Hasao, it looks like your bread's a little spicy. I shake my head, trying to vein the image of my manliness. Keep away of my manliness. Not entirely spicy at all. I see. That must be why your face has gotten so red. Yes, exactly. The lack of spice has gotten my blood up. Because of the disappointment. Oh God. Hisao, you are retarded. Emmy laughs and shallows the last of her bread. Swallows. Well, if you can't handle it, I'll be glad to take it off your hands. Hey, just because you wolfed down yours so quickly doesn't mean I'm just going to give you mine. Emmy mock pouts, causing me to nearly choke at the bread from laughter. Aw, come on, Hisao. Aren't you supposed to be concerned with making sure I've got enough to eat now? We're dating, you know. Though, Emmy looks troubled all of a sudden. I can't say I feel any different. What do you mean by that? What makes this a date? It's just what we would have done anyway, really. But this should feel different because before we had lunch we were friends, and now we're a level above friends. You sound like Rin. Laughter escapes and Emmy grins. Well, she must have put the thought into my mind. We've talked about this sort of thing before. Really? About me? Not really, just stuff, really. Rin thinks that the change of a label from friend to girlfriend seems arbitrary most of the time. Arbitrary. Arbitrary. Like there's no difference between the two. I think at least one. I can think of at least one. You don't tend to kiss your friends quite as much. For the second time that day, Emmy blushes slightly and giggles. I suppose you're right. Exactly. It's always right. I'm always right about things like this. Emmy rolls her eyes and chuckles. Guess you're pretty smart, huh? I nod in agreement. Yep. Even Matau thinks so. He thinks I should go on to some scientific study after graduation. Emmy raises an eyebrow. Oh, really? Yeah, I think I might do just that. Really, the more I consider the idea, the more it appeals to me. I'll make a mental note to look into it a little more closely. So what are you thinking about doing after graduation? Still planning on renting? And we shrug, seeming almost a bit hesitant. I don't know. If I'm good enough, I can find a team, I guess. You mean you aren't sure? I haven't really thought about it, to be honest. Really? You probably should. Graduation isn't that far off. Emmy fidgets a little nervously. Yeah, well, it's far enough, right? Besides, I got other things to think about. There was a mischievous flash behind Emmy's eyes, and I suddenly find myself gloriously pinned against a tree. Like making sure this is a real date, right? And if we don't kiss, then it's not a date at all, right? I suppose. Strawberries and curry. Not the best combination, but I don't think I mind. Emmy sits back on my legs and grins again. There. Science would approve, right? I have the oddest mental image of Mattel nodding seriously and making a mark on some checklist. That's funny. I can't help laughing at the idea. Well, God. Well, I admit, this is the first time I've ever witnessed a kiss met with laughter before. Should I feel offended? No. I'm sure science approves. Emmy beams at me, and I find it increasingly difficult to keep my brain functioning properly. Oh, good. It is at this point I notice that Emmy has stolen the remainder of the curry bread while I was otherwise occupied with images of teachers wielding clipboards. Hey! Emmy tries to look innocent but considers just cramming the last bit of my bread into her mouth. It does not appear to be working. Sorry, couldn't resist. Dave! A shrug from my companion is all I get in response. You used your feminine wills on me. I wasn't that hungry anyway, but I still feel the point needs to be made. Emmy seems confused by the phrase feminine wiles or wills, but the understanding dawns on her features after a moment's thought. Wasn't anything of the sort. You were laughing. Feminine wills don't involve laughing. I guess I can't argue with this. That doesn't change your thievery. Emmy laughs at my injured tone and gives me a physical shove, or a playful shove. Fine, you can have the instant noodles. Are you kidding? That stuff's terrible. If anything, you should definitely eat it as punishment. Another laugh from the girl sitting on my legs, both of which are falling asleep by now. Whoa. I twitch one leg to try waking it up, which has the unintended effect of unbalancing Emmy, who falls to the side with a startled "eep, yeep." Whoops, sorry about that. Legs fell asleep on me. Emmy remains on the ground giggling. I stand up a little shakily, feeling the nerves in my legs returning to normal. My eyes wander over to the scenery before fixing on the figure of Emmy, who has yet to get up. Her hair is splayed out around her head, her arms are spread, and laughter is bubbling up through her mouth. Everything about Emmy seems condensed into this one image. Her energy, her spirit, her childish giggling. The urge to lay down in the grass with her rises swiftly from the back of my mind to the forefront of my thought, and I indeed am convinced that I would love nothing more than to do just that. Unfortunately, the sun has set, and it's probably time for us to get back to the dormitories. Oh, sorry. While Emmy may be happy to stay out here all night, I don't think I have the ability. Besides, homework soon beckons. It wouldn't make sense to start thinking about these things while university and then slack off with it. I extend a hand to Emmy to help her up. We should probably get going. Emmy makes a sour face. You're right. She grabs my proffer hand, and I pull her to her feet and into a hug. Oh. This time, I'm the one who kisses her, unable to risk having Emmy against me. Seems a shame to leave you, you know. Yeah, it does. But if we don't get back to the school soon, we'll probably get into trouble. Emmy pokes me in the ribs playfully. And you didn't do your homework, I'm sure. Sadly, you're absolutely right. I throw my arm around her, and we make the trek back to school, accompanied by occasional bouts of laughter as our conversation jumps from subject to subject. Everything from running to school to the particular way that one of the cafeteria workers smells. I said that weird. All too soon, we find ourselves outside of the girls' dormitory building. Well, I guess I'll be going then. I guess so, huh? Emmy grins at me with that mischievous look. Are you going to be able to survive without me? I laugh. I'm sure I'll manage. How terrible. Aren't you supposed to say something like, I'll be counting on you the second you are away? Nah, I don't think so. Emmy pulls me down into a quick goodbye kiss and steps back, looking unexpectedly shy. Thanks for dinner. I really had fun. Honestly, I did. So did I. I think we shall have to do it again sometime. Emmy laughs after deadpan delivery and nods. See you bright and early tomorrow morning, right? You've got to run off the bread after all. Of course, despite the fact that you may ate most of it. Yes, despite that. See you later, Sal. As Emmy turns her head inside, I notice something weird. Something so weird that I'm surprised I didn't notice it earlier. She's limping slightly, favoring the left leg. Hey, Emmy! Huh? Is your leg okay? Emmy looks confused, or at least fakes confusion. What are you talking about? Your right leg. You're limping. There's the briefest flash of concern on Emmy's face. Either she didn't want me to know, or she didn't think I'd notice. Or I prefer to think she didn't realize it. Oh, that? She shrugs casually. Must have gotten knocked out a little alignment during the picnic. No idea what could have caused that, of course. I think back to being pinned under the tree. Ah. You should have told me. We could have stopped and fixed it, you know. Emmy waves a hand airily. Nah, it's not a big deal. Don't worry about it, okay, Sal? It's fine. Why do I get the feeling she's convincing herself as well as me? Let's press Emmy. I want her to get it fixed. Are you absolutely sure? You don't want to go ahead and adjust it before heading up the stairs. You could get hurt if you don't, right? I said it was fine, Sal. Seriously, don't worry about it. I've got some experience in these matters after all. Yeah, I suppose so. Emmy grins reassuringly. Honestly, Sal, I appreciate your concern, but I'm okay. Now really, I need to get going. Your attempts to keep me around are doomed to fail. Heh, of course. Just prolonging the goodbye, I suppose. Another grin lights at Emmy's face. Good night, Sal. Nighty night. As she limps inside, I find myself hoping she's okay despite her assurance that she's fine. I think I can call this a successful first date. Hell, any day that ends with Emmy pinning me under a tree to kiss me can't be bad, can it? I head back to my room, mentally thank the gods that Kenji doesn't ambush me in the hallway, and get started on my homework. Whoops. Well, you guys, I think this is a good place to end it. So next time we'll continue from here. Alright? See you guys later. Oops.